Hello everyone. Today we'll be discussing few important facts regarding lung cancer. The first thing is lung cancer is the most common cause of cancer mortality. Overall, most common cause of cancer mortality in the world is lung cancer. Okay? And if they ask that which is the most common lung cancer, it is always metastasis. So if they ask that most common lung cancer is your metastasis, and from where does this metastasis come? This metastasis is mainly from the breast. Okay, so breast carcinoma most commonly metastasized to the lung here. Now if they ask you which is the most common primary lung tumor, this is pulmonary hamartoma. Okay, and so these are the three questions. First question is most common cancer mortality, lung cancer. The most common cause of cancer mortality is lung cancer. Most commonly it is a metastasis. Most common site is from breast, and most common primary is pulmonary hamartoma. Next set of questions from this is number 2 is if they ask you that overall most common lung cancer. So if they ask you overall most common cause of cancer. So if I have to say in cancer, the most common worldwide till now and in India. So worldwide in male and in females, India male and female. So please first remember the worldwide as well as in India, the most common cause of cancer in female is breast cancer. Both the cases it is breast cancer, but worldwide it is lung cancer for male, and in India it is not lung cancer, it is cancer of the oral cavity or lips. This is still now is the most common cause of cancer in the India. But overall in any of these cancers, overall the most common cause of mortality is lung cancer. Ultimately this happens. Next thing, the classification of the lung cancer, number 3. So they have classified pathologically the lung cancer. First question is the most common pathological type. Okay, so let us first classify it. First is non-small cell carcinoma, next is small cell carcinoma, and then is large cell carcinoma. Okay, large cell carcinoma. Non-small cells is divided into squamous cell carcinoma and adenocarcinoma. So till we have these 4 groups of lung cancer: squamous cell carcinoma, adenocarcinoma, small cell carcinoma, large cell carcinoma. We will be discussing few points regarding each of them. First point, which one is the most common pathological variety? This is the adenocarcinoma, which is most common pathological or histological variety that you see. Next question, which is prevalent mostly in non-smoker? Remember, it is adenocarcinoma which is seen in non-smoker. So if they ask you that non-smoker में कौन सा lung cancer ज़्यादा होता है, that is adenocarcinoma. Another important facts regarding adenocarcinoma that it is mostly seen in female than male. Rest all of the lung cancers most in male. So these are the 3 important points regarding adenocarcinoma. It's the most common histologic variety. It is seen mostly in the non-smoker, and another one is the location. It is not involving the center of the lungs parenchyma. Basically it is involving the peripheral. So its peripheral location as like large cell also. It is also involving the periphery. Okay, the 2S involves the central portion of the lung. Okay, so this is very important regarding adenocarcinoma. As we are discussing adenocarcinoma, let us discuss one important paraneoplastic syndrome regarding adenocarcinoma, that is migratory thrombophlebitis. Migratory thrombophlebitis. phlebitis. Okay, lots of paraneoplastic syndromes are there, but we are discussing the most common. Paraneoplastic syndrome means it is associated with a carcinoma, but it is not related to the carcinoma or its origin. The syndrome cannot be explained by any mechanism that is related to the carcinoma itself. Okay, it is not due to production of any hormones or anything else. So that is what is paraneoplastic syndrome. And migratory thrombophlebitis is what is important. Small cell carcinoma, few important thing. Acha, adenocarcinoma ka another important thing I would also like to mention here is the gene that is implicated here, that the pathogenesis happens because of some genetic element, that is KRAS and EGFR. These are the two genes which are implicated in the pathogenesis of adenocarcinoma. Okay, here adenocarcinoma means histologically you will be seeing that glands that are lined by pleomorphic cells. So the glands will be there, those glands will be lined by pleomorphic cells. This is what you will see. Okay, in squamous cell carcinoma, okay, as I told you, it is smoker, obviously. And if they ask you which one has strongest association with smoking, it is small cell carcinoma. Okay, so small cell, then squamous cell carcinoma, strongest association with smoking. Okay, this is a question. Okay, histologically you will be seeing keratin pearls. As you see, you will see keratin pearls in squamous cell carcinoma. You will see keratin pearls. Now this keratin pearls is actually accumulation of the keratin by the squamous cells. Now this depends on the severity or the differentiation of the squamous cells. If it is well differentiated squamous cell carcinoma, then you will see the keratin pearls. If it is poorly differentiated, you will not see any kind of keratin pearls there. In that case, you have to go for immunohistochemistry marker study. Like in squamous cell carcinoma, what marker will be increased? It will express cytokeratin. Okay, so you'll see cytokeratin, this is a tumor marker which will be increased. But if they ask you what is the most specific as well as sensitive marker, most specific as well as sensitive tumor marker for squamous cell carcinoma, please remember it is P40, that is P40, not cytokeratin. It is P40 which is most sensitive and specific marker. Okay, very important. Paraneoplastic syndrome associated with squamous cell carcinoma is hypercalcemia. Question asked, hypercalcemia. This is a association. What genes are involved here? P53 retinoblastoma. These are the genes which are involved here. Okay, so this is what is squamous cell carcinoma. Please remember here also males are more than females, that is associated with smoking. Males are more than female, associated with smoking. This is centrally located. As I told you, these are peripheral, so all A's are centrally located, and they produce cavitary lesions or intrabronchial mass producing the lung bronchi obstructions. Okay, the questions asked here is hypercalcemia. Next, coming into small cell carcinoma, the most common question they have asked is strongest association, and what is another important fact here is this small cell carcinoma is having worst prognosis. This is having worst prognosis. Okay, and what is the paraneoplastic syndrome associated here is very common SIADH, syndrome of inappropriate ADH secretions. Okay, the genetic element also asked, that is LMYC, MYC, that is an oncogene that is expressed here, amplified. Yes, like squamous also P53 retinoblastoma genes are also mutated, but this is the important one which is amplified. This is an oncogene LMYC. SiADH, you know, this will produce euvolumic hyponatremia. Euvolumic hyponatremia. Okay. The important thing regarding SiADH we'll learn in medicine is that there is inappropriate ADH secretion. Okay, so there is inappropriate ADH secretion. So as more ADH will be secreted, it will reabsorb more free water. Okay, so that should cause dilutional hyponatremia, not euvolemic. That should cause hypovolemic hyponatremia, but not euvolemic. So why in SiADH euvolemic hyponatremia seen is, can anyone tell me? Yes, it is because, see, there is inappropriately ADH is high, but this ADH, what does this do? This actually expresses aquaporin 2 in the luminal side or tubular side of the tubule. Okay, so of the distal of the collecting duct. So in the collecting duct, ADH acts, and the tubular side or the luminal side, this aquaporin 2 will be expressed. So more water will be absorbed. But what happens due to persistently and inappropriately rise in ADH, gradually this aquaporin 2 will be down regulated. Now once this aquaporin 2 is down regulated, but still the ADH is high, so yes, ADH is high, so there is inappropriate ADH secretion is there, but aquaporin 2 is down regulated, so no water is reabsorbing further, so that is preventing hypovolemic hyponatremia, so there is euvolemic status maintained. This is a medicine discussion, not going into detail. Coming back here, so coming into this is what is small cell carcinoma. Small cell carcinoma, very important. Why it is worse prognosis? Because it is a neuroendocrine tumor. It is an example of neuroendocrine tumor. Okay, this is a neuroendocrine tumor. So what are the histological features of neuroendocrine tumor? Can anyone tell me? Yes, very important. The histological features that you will see in any neuroendocrine tumor like medulloblastoma, neuroblastoma, any neuroendocrine tumor, you will be seeing very small, yes, small round blue cell, small round blue cells. Number 2, there will be nuclear molding. There will be nuclear molding. Okay. There will be hyperchromatic nuclei, hyperchromatic nucleus, and there may be associated necrosis here. Very important, there will be granular hyperchromatic nuclei, and appearance is granular. So the chromatin will be fragmented and granular. That is going to give an appearance known as, very important, salt and pepper chromatin. This is seen in any neuroendocrine tumor. Small round blue cells, nuclear molding, and small salt and pepper chromatin because of granular chromatin appearance. Another important thing that is seen here in small cell carcinoma is known as Azopardi effect. Azopardi effect. This Azopardi effect is very important. It is nothing but the fragile cells, they break, and when a cell is breaking, what happens, whatever is released, the DNA content is released, that is a basic thing, and is going to stain the vessel wall and producing a basophilic staining. So the DNA is leaking out from the tumor cells, and this DNA is going to stain a vessel wall, and this vessel wall will be appearing basophilic. Okay, that is important. That is what is your small cell carcinoma. Small cell carcinoma में और कुछ पूछेगा, that is marker, very important. This is not just marker of small cell carcinoma, it's marker of any neuroendocrine tumor. Yes, you can, non-specific enolase, number 1, number 2 is chromogranin, and number 3 is synaptophysin. Okay, so non-specific enolase, chromogranin, and synaptophysin. Next, coming into large cell carcinoma. Okay, yes, large cell carcinoma, is another important thing. No such questions are asked basically. So what you can remember from the exceptions, that it is also peripherally located. It is also peripherally located. Okay. Next, it is associated with gynecomastia. Gynecomastia, associated with gynecomastia, and there will be large pleomorphic cells. Okay. It is peripherally located. It is also male may more than female. It is also seen in smoker as well as non-smokers, but strongest is associated with small cell carcinoma. Okay, remember large cell carcinoma diagnosis of exclusion. Here you are not going to see this thing. So genetics in squamous cell carcinoma, it is P40 and cytokeratin is the tumor marker. For adenocarcinoma, that is very important. KRAS is the genetic element, EGFR is the genetic element. What is the tumor marker here? The tumor marker is actually, you can remember as napsin A. Napsin A. Also you can remember that is TTF1. One is napsin A, another is what is known as TTF1. These are two immunohistochemical or tumor marker. Okay. Next, the tumor markers I told you here: non-specific enolase, chromogranin and synaptophysin for small cell carcinoma. And what is the oncogene involved here? L-MYC. Okay, what is the oncogene involved here? Not C, it is L-MYC. Okay. Yes. So this is overall the lung cancer. Generally, the lung cancer will be presented with cough and dyspnea. Later on, it can be associated with hemoptysis. Sometimes the Pancoast tumor may be there, which is associated with Punjabi mill. Okay. So Pancoast tumor is associated with ptosis, that is Punjabi mill. Okay. Meiosis enophthalmos, ptosis, meiosis enophthalmos, then anhidrosis, and next is loss of ciliospinal reflex. Loss of ciliospinal reflex. Okay. Next, coming into one thing I told you, that the lung cancer is metastasis. Most common lung cancer is metastasis, and this metastasis is most commonly from breast. But if they ask you, if a lung cancer is there, where does it most commonly metastasize? See, two are different question. One is, what is most common lung cancer? It is secondary. Okay, it is secondary. But if they ask you, if there is a primary lung cancer, where it will metastasize, not benign, malignant में metastasis होता है, तो that is liver. Liver is the most common site of lung metastasis. Okay. What are the other neuroendocrine tumor other than this small cell carcinoma of lung? Yes, you have carcinoid tumor of the lung, any carcinoid tumor per se. Pheochromocytoma is there, paraganglioma is there. Okay, glomus tumor is there, carotid body tumor, that is. So we have many tumors. Okay. Now this is carcinoid tumor. Carcinoid tumor may you will be having typical symptoms of like diarrhea, flushing. Okay, diarrhea, there will be flushing. Okay, and very huge sweating will be there because of the autonomic activation. Okay, on histopathology you will be getting a nest like or rosette like appearance. Okay, the also neuroendocrine, so there will be salt and pepper chromatin, and also you will be seeing a nests of cells which are separated by septa, that is rosette like appearance that you will see. Okay, this is carcinoid tumor of lung. The clinical feature itself will tell you diarrhea, flushing, sweating, and on histopathology there will be rosette appearance or nest like appearance, even salt and pepper chromatin. Okay, and also they will show you something. They might say that the mitosis under light microscopy, the mitosis is like 3 mitosis per 10 high power field. Then what does that indicate? Is it a typical or atypical carcinoid? So how you know that whether it's a typical or atypical carcinoid? This is not required, but let me tell you. Typical versus atypical carcinoid. Okay, you just need to look at the mitosis. If it is less than 2 mitosis, if it is less than 2 mitosis per 10 high power field, is what is known as typical carcinoid. Okay, and this typical carcinoid is having less pleomorphic features and less necrosis. Atypical means when there will be 2 to 10 mitosis, that is associated with more pleomorphic features and that is associated with more necrosis. So atypical variety is very much high. So if it is 3, then it will be atypical. Understood? Okay, this completes our discussion. Few facts regarding at the lung cancers. Okay, so please do remember this thing. Another important thing, one question they have asked is regarding, if they ask you that which is the most common lung cancer in asbestosis. You know, asbestosis is an occupational lung disorder. Okay, so supposing they have given the most common lung cancer, if they are so most common lung cancer if they are asking, so answer it as adenocarcinoma lung, which is most common. But if they are asking you that which is the most specific, if they're asking you what is most specific lung cancer or most specific cancer rather in asbestosis, then your answer should be mesothelioma. Mesothelioma. Okay, this is most specific. How you also can remember, like someone telling you that an worker, that worker is working in cement industry, and this cement industry may he is working for 10 years. Okay, and what is the what is the cancer that you are expecting? Both adenocarcinoma and mesothelioma is in the option, then choose mesothelioma. Because mesothelioma, then choose adenocarcinoma, because for adenocarcinoma to develop following asbestos exposure, it is around 10 to 20 years of exposure is needed. For mesothelioma to occur, it is more than 30 years of exposure to asbestos is needed, and that is the specific specific cancer, not lung, specific cancer, that is mesothelioma. Understanding it is a malignant mesothelioma or mesothelioma. Okay, the proper history exposure to shipping industry, okay, for more than 30 to 40 years, okay, that will be given. So if this is 10 years 15 years, then mark it as adenocarcinoma lung. So adenocarcinoma, I told you TTF1, it is and the TTF1 will be positive. But mesothelioma, it is mesenchymal origin, so here your vimentin will be positive. Remember, vimentin is a mesothelial marker. Any tumor originating from the mesenchyme, vimentin will be positive. Calretinine will be positive. Okay, calretinine will also be positive. This is important thing. Thus we are concluding everything here. We'll be also coming with another sessions of TF. Thank you.